Meepo agility gain reduced heavily down to 1.4. Poof damage reduced by a little bit. Ransack hero steal reduced a little bit. This is the lifesteal thing. Level 10 talent reduced. The level 15 talent is changed to evasion. The lifesteal is now at 20. Probably because the Ransack was already technically healing, so having lifesteal and Ransack is probably a little crazy. And then the level 25 talent is reduced by a lot. So just Meepo nerfs across the board. He got apparently super buffed. Lunar Blessing is reduced by 2 at all levels, and the level 15 talent is gone. So it was kind of crazy if you think about it. It was basically giving me like, as a bounty hunter, I was getting like 40 agility from it, which is kind of crazy. Now it's 30 movement speed, so Luna will be even faster. Slark now only steals agility when he kills the enemy himself. I think that's more fair, because it does kind of add up, I guess. In the game that I was in, that Slark basically stole like a handful of agility from every hero. As long as you hit each hero once, you know. It's probably more fair this way. Pounce leash duration. So a little bit worse early on. Not the biggest deal. But it'll matter a little. But usually you max that skill second. So it's probably not a huge deal. The leash range is increased a little. So you can move a little farther if needed. Shadow Dance cooldown increased to be much worse early on. So Slark's early game is worse. Level 20 talent reduced from +3 pounce leash to 2. So these are clearly the big winners for the patch. Dazzle Poison Touch mana cost increased by quite a bit. So it's a lot more later on when you're spamming it. Bad Juju debuff duration reduced. I think this is good too because it would refresh. So basically for 10 whole seconds, if you had been out of the AoE and coming back, that's when it finally goes away. But if so, now Dazzle has to cast a spell around you for every 8 seconds, so it won't like super stack so much. Sandstorm cooldown is increased. Mana cost rescaled to be 60 at all levels. Underlord intelligence gain reduced. Did he even get that changed? Oh, that's right. If the hero gets killed, you get a atrophy or a bonus or something. So just less mana for him. Lone Druid Spirit Link attack speed reduced. And the cooldown is increased by 2 seconds. Really small stuff. Okay, not the most impactful. This part's kind of big, I guess. Wraithband attack speed reduced by 1. I think that's fair. Wraithbands are really good. Drow base agility increased by 4. That's a buff. So they buffed Drow, actually. Okay. This doesn't say that damage is unaffected, so Drow's base damage is 4 bigger now. You also might get a little bit more from Precision or level 1. Who knows, maybe it ticks you over and you get an extra attack speed. Basically, it's like an extra attack speed right here, more or less. And it's also better late game, so it's basically better. Okay, OD. Base intelligence increased. Equilibrium mana restore is better. The slow is a little better. And the cooldown is reduced. This is kind of what I felt. I kind of, just from messing around in the demo mode, I did kind of feel like OD wasn't very good. Maybe not very good, but it felt a little weird. 4 more bonus or base damage is nice though. And yeah, lowering the cooldown a little bit seems good. In the mana restore percentage, it definitely felt a little low to me. Maybe it's really bad against individual heroes, because it worked against... It's based on how much pure damage you deal, or how much damage you deal, right? And so against like creep waves, you can get your mana back, but against other heroes, it might have been really hard. They actually buffed Clinkz. Clinkz's ulti, and they made the cast range increased as well. I should play Clinkz in my next game. So basically the level 3 is now the level 2, or the level 1 is now the level 2, and the level 2 is the level 3. So it gets better. I don't know, I guess maybe it is really garbage, I'm not sure. And increasing the cast range is good. It's probably a lot easier to like cast it to catch up to people and stuff. Chaos Strike cooldown. 1 second, that's your second skill. Phantasm damage increased a little bit to make it better at level 1. Retaliate max stacks up by 3. How much was it again? It was like 15 per stack, so that's an extra... it's like an extra 45 damage. So it's pretty close to like 200%, right? Is my math wrong? Yeah, 195 based on whatever strength you have. Ember Spirit fixed a bug with multiple Fire Remnant instances not doing damage properly. Okay. Sleight of Fist damage increased by a little. Guess they made Ember way worse. Yeah, he did get pretty big nerfs, I guess. But at least it's a lot better. Not a lot better, it's better late game. Better without items too. Medusa agility gain is increased by a shitload. Her level 15 talent increased mana steal wise to 35 plus 35%. Kind of feels like to me that they like steroided a lot of carries and a lot of heroes in general in this patch. It felt like that in the last patch too. There was like a lot of talents added that seemed ridiculous, and over time it was just like, it's not that weird. But it feels like that again. So maybe they're having to update some things. Trim Protector. Nature's Guy's fade time reduced even more. Apparently he was still too bad, which makes sense to me because his base movement speed is so fucking garbage. Yeah, they had to buff it. Like, they kind of ruined Tree in a way. Because his base movement is so bad. I bet he was, like, stupid slow in the previous patch. Like, right before this. Because his base movement's, like, 265 or something. So he can't chase people down. And now if Boots only increased your percentage base movement speed instead of giving you raw movement, he's just, like... He's probably never fast again. And that's why they had to at least buff this here. But Nature's Guys does do damage now. They buffed it again here. Make it do a little bit more. Getting 2 points might be really value. Although the cooldown, it's definitely more of a 1-point wonder skill than it used to be. In some ways. Okay. Storm Spirit is buffed a small amount. Better level 1 skill on Vortex. The cooldown has gone down a little bit late game. And Overload attack speed reduction is super high now, minus 80. It's pretty nice, but clearly means Storm sucks, apparently. Sven Warcry shield health increased a little bit, and Venomancer Poison Sing slow went up. Alright, lots of small things, but lots of big things too. Mostly the Meepo, Luna, Slark seem to be the big winners. And... that's true, I didn't think about, we gotta test out Cleave stuff. Apparently everybody's playing Meepo right now. Literally everyone playing Meepo. Okay, let's make a new lobby.